This is about race too. George Floyd is about the police and the criminal justice system. And look, we have a lot of problems like corporate greed and political corruption and the debt, climate change, COVID. Like, we have a lot of problems, but this is the problem right now. It's like you have a bad boss and you can't make your rent and your knee is aching and all that kind of stuff. But then you get a flat tire. Like, let's focus on the flat tire because it's here. This is what's in front of us. And that's what I'm going to try and do. I was talking to a barber and a nail lady. And what's interesting is that they need more training than police officers. I've talked to cops. 6 months of training and then 1 day a year. So they need more training. One of the things that Royal Ellis, who I had on my podcast, said, as well as Eric Weinstein said that the system isn't broken, it's fixed. Fixed like rigged. And what I think we need to focus on when we talk about the systemic racism in the criminal justice system is that the way it has been funded and structured disproportionately affects certain groups of people. And the funding for police shouldn't be cut. It needs to be reallocated. The issue isn't that there's too much money going to the police. That's not what it is. It's that the money's going to the wrong things. I mean, police are getting militarized. One tank or one armored personnel carrier or something like that could lead to a ton of specialized training. We need community outreach. We need emotional education. We need conflict de-escalation. We need a lot of things to fix this. Jiu-jitsu training, and some of this, leading with our heart, policing with our heart, is going to put officers at risk. It could. It absolutely could put them at risk, but not necessarily. Because part of the reason why they are so much at risk is not just because there are dangerous elements out there. That is part of it, but also it is the stigma attached to police. The fact that we already see police as the bad guy. If we change the system, then we might not see police as the bad guys anymore. So maybe it will put them more at risk, but I don't think that's a guarantee. Now bringing in the race element. The race element comes from the lack of training, the lack of preparedness and stuff like that. I think there are racist cops, just like there's racist plumbers. But I don't think that's the majority. I don't. I think what it is to stick with a metaphor, I think it's like if I put a random person out into the woods and they see a snake, they're gonna run from that snake because what they know is snakes are dangerous. Maybe they have a cousin who was bitten by a snake, or maybe they just have read that snakes are dangerous, or they've heard stories about how snakes are dangerous and things like that. Generationally, they heard that snakes are dangerous. But if you have a reptile expert, if you get educated on snakes, then you go, oh, that's just a garter snake. Look, you can pick it right up. Won't bite you. Or you go, oh, no, wait, that's a copperhead. That's no good. A coral snake and a king snake look very similar, but an expert knows that red and yellow together is poisonous. Red and black together, it's harmless. What we need to do is recognize that police officers are untrained. They're out there in a very scary, difficult job, and they don't know what to do. So they're tapping into their most primitive nature, which is taking shortcuts for survival, because our genetics tell us that someone died from a snake, stay away from snakes. Just stay away from snakes. And what we're doing is we're doing that. We're not looking at what are the little hints, what are the little specifics to look for to make someone dangerous. They don't know those things. They're untrained, completely undertrained. So what they're doing is they're making these quick shortcuts, these quick things using stereotypes and things like that. And I think that's a big problem here. I think that's at the root of what's going on here a lot. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you very much.